So now you can go to your database and then just do select star from customer underscore orders. Yeah, run this query. Yes, you see 6 rows are populated, right? And then you will see only 6 columns, right, populated because we only map them, right? Other columns we did not map. So that is why they are
Right.
showing you null. Full name we haven't mapped, or other columns also we haven't mapped, right? So, and then I guess we have like more than 6 rows, but then we had a filter in the source, right? Customer ID greater than 101, so that customer ID 101 is not appeared over here. It is not processed because we
Correct.
haven't
Yeah.
selected that. So if you just run a query select star from customers, you will see what was the source data and what is the target data. So in the source, customers, S, it's a plural. Yeah. So here you had like, I guess some of the rows you have inserted, right, from your end. So 101, correct. Yeah. So if you just add a filter customer ID greater than 101, just check if you get 6 rows. Perfect.
Yeah.
So this
Six.
is what data we can see in the target. Okay, so this is how we
Yeah.
have created our first mapping, very basic, just source to target, right, in Informatica Cloud. Now, again, go to that mapping on the left hand side. So this is the execution log you have, right? Executions details. So on the left hand side, again, under this, so there is a mapping icon, right? Just below that, this is your mapping, right? So now we created a mapping, we executed it, right? But every time when you run the individual mapping, right, it will always ask you to select the runtime environment, right? So that is not that in production are you going to kind of run and keep selecting the runtime environment? No, right? So now just click on those 3 dots on the right hand side and then select the new mapping task. So now we are going to create a mapping task on top of the mapping, right? What is mapping task? It will be similar to the session, right? But difference is in PowerCenter, at the session level, we used to provide the connections. Here, the connections and everything is already there in the mapping. So this mapping task will just be kind of a, I would say, wrapper over here, right? So what you could do is copy that mapping name, which is there, demo mapping one, copy this and then paste it in the task and then change that m underscore to mct underscore, right? Just put ct. So mct stands for mapping configuration task. In PowerCenter we used to have m underscore s for session, right, and wf for workflow. Here we'll follow the nomenclature as m underscore for mapping, mct underscore for mapping configuration task. Okay, then we will have the same folder. Currently we have just default, right? But then if we have like multiple folders, then we'll make sure that the mapping and mapping task will be part of same folder. Means not a mandatory, but we'll have everything collated, right? So we'll have it in the default folder. Again, we can have some description what this mapping task is all about, and then yeah, currently it is only default folder we have, right? And then mapping image, it will show you a pictorial representation of your mapping. It has just source and target for now, right? After configuring the definition tab, right, you can click next on the bottom. You haven't selected the runtime environment, my bad. Just click on that runtime environment drop down and then select the desktop. Now select. So here in the mapping task, we are going to predefine the runtime environment. Okay. So whenever we will run this particular mapping task, it will get executed directly. Okay, so now again, these are the similar properties we have seen in the replication and synchronization task, right? Scheduling properties, email notifications, right? Scroll down, pre-processing and post-processing commands. So these are kind of, if scripts or something, if you execute, right, then we will provide them. Then we also have the parameter file location, parameter details, right? So if we are using any parameter file, as of now we haven't used, right? But whenever we are going to touch base on the parameterization topic, right, those things can be provided over there. Or there could be like, push down optimization, those properties, right? So there are like a lot of
Yeah.
properties you can set over here. right? For now we are not going to set anything. Maybe you can explore these whenever you have time. And then again, these properties will be again similar to what we have in PowerCenter, push down optimization or those, right? For now you can just click on finish, and your mapping task will get saved. Okay, it is saved successfully. Now just click on run on the right hand side top corner. So whenever you execute this, right, you will directly get mapping task executed. It will not ask you for anything. And click on my jobs. This is also successful. Okay, and then whenever you click on the hyperlink, right, which appears on the top right, it will filter on the in that particular thing, right? So if you see, asset name filter is added over here, right? It is only allowing you to see the execution for mapping task, right? But if you just click on that cross, take off that filter, that then you will see the existing as well as the previous one. Now what is my jobs tab, right? My jobs tab is local for us. So say for example, we all three belong to same project, right? And then we have common Informatica Cloud account, right? So it would be common across everybody, right? All the developers and all, right? So whatever jobs I am going to execute from my account, right? I will be able to monitor them under my jobs. Okay. But say for example, if I'm running something, right? Then you will not be able to see those jobs getting executed under my jobs, right? If you want to if you want to monitor the jobs which are executed by your team member, right? In that case, you just click on that drop down Informatica data integration, right? There is a small drop down button on the top, right, just above, and then right click on the monitor and say open in new tab, and then close this. Then on the next tab, you will see monitor is open. So if you see running jobs, it was just executed, right? Now on the left hand side, you have all jobs. So click on all jobs. Yeah, here you will see all the jobs which are completed recently. Success, failure, whatever, right? We'll see over here. So now if Udaya is running something from her machine, right? Her laptop, right? Then those jobs, me and Rajesh will be able to, monitor in the monitor service. Okay, but not in my job. So my job is local for me. Whatever I trigger from my machine, I'll be able to see under my jobs and monitor anyways, right? So even if I open monitor, right, I'll be able to see that monitor is common for everybody who is sharing that Informatica Cloud account. Okay, so that's the difference between my jobs tab and the monitor service, right? Whenever I'm running something from it, I don't have to necessarily go to monitor service and see. I can just quickly see that in the my jobs as well. Okay, now again, go back to the previous tab. So this is again the data integration. So today we have created a simple mapping, just source and target, and we have created the mapping task. So today we discussed about mapping designer. We discussed about transformation, as in like we just saw them, right? We have not used them any. We just saw the different transformations which we have. We created a simple mapping with just source and target. We did the mapping validation as well, right? So earlier it was invalid. We saw the errors, right? Source target connection is not provided and all, right? After we configured source target properly, we saw the mapping was successful, right? And then we also created a mapping task on top of the mapping. So we have completed the module number 6 today.